Wow, that is tall.
It's art time with Mr. Mayberry. Let's get busy.
Welcome to Art Time with Mr. Mayberry. Just as we've learned that a landscape is a picture of land, a cityscape is a picture of a city. A collage is when you take pieces of paper and cut them out and glue them down to a larger piece to make a picture. Today we're going to be making a collage of a city full of overlapping skyscrapers. So let's get started. It's time to make some art. Okay, for this project you'll need paper, crayons. You can use a pencil if you'd like to start with, scissors, glue, and a variety of construction paper. I started by using a 12 by 18 piece of white drawing paper, and then I used a blue crayon without any paper and rubbed across it to create the sky. And if you think there might be gaps between your skyscraper, you could color the whole page. Also, another option would be to start with a piece of either light blue or sky blue construction paper. Okay, next what you'll do is you'll take your construction paper, 9 by 12, and divide it into sections. Now I used 3 sections. This is a 2-inch width, a 3-inch width, and a 4-inch width. And so I used a paper cutter to do this. Now you could also use a ruler and just scissors to cut the sections apart. And let me show you. Then you'll have 3 different size widths of skyscrapers. That's the purpose of doing this. And if you do it in a variety of colors, then you'll have a variety of colors of buildings, and it looks really neat with a variety of colors. You could just do it with white if that's what you have, but that's okay. But if you have a variety of colors of construction paper, it would look really nice. Next thing to do, we're going to make this look like it's 3D versions of the skyscrapers where we're looking up from a ground level up at them. And so what I'm going to do is to draw, you make a dot in the middle here, and then we'll just kind of draw to that center place on either side. And you can use ruler, or you could just, actually you could just cut this with the scissors, but you'll draw out 2 slanted lines like that, and then we'll cut those out. And once you cut those off, then you'll get something like this. And I outlined the right and left sides, and then also what I'm going to do is to take the crayon and go down the center, draw a line down the center. I could use a ruler for this if you want it to be perfectly straight, but usually you can do pretty good without a ruler. Okay, so this is one building. Then what you do is you do this with each of the different widths that you have. You complete these buildings, and then we're going to arrange them on the paper to make the entire picture. And let me show you what a finished one looks like. Here's one that I've already arranged the buildings, put them down, and this is what we have. Now I would recommend go ahead and lay them all out and get a nice order to it before you start gluing things down, just so you can have a feel for how you want it to look. You'll have different heights. Now the pieces of paper that you're using are all the same height, but you'll just by arranging them at different levels on this paper, then you can create different heights within your picture. Then once you figure out how you would like to have it laid out there, you go ahead and you start with the ones that are in the back. Now we're using overlapping today, so that means that you can see all of the buildings that are in the front, but the ones that are in the back are covered up. We overlap the ones that are in the back, and that creates a sense of space or depth within that picture. So after you have them all laid out the way you want, then you glue down the ones in the back, and then you gradually add as you kind of stack them up as we get closer to us. And then next would be to, and remember also, when you glue things down, don't put the glue on the background. Always put the glue on the back of whatever you're gluing down. Use dots and thin lines, and then you'll place it on your paper. This will also, when you do this, all these pieces will be hanging down below. Some of them might be right even with the edge, but most of them will be hanging below the bottom. So after you get them all glued down, and it dries, then you can go back and cut off the bottom edge to make the bottom even with the size of paper that you have. Now we don't see the road or streets in this one, because again, we're looking up at the building, so it's just the viewpoint that we have as we look at these. The last thing to do, or actually it wouldn't have to be last, you could do this earlier on, would be to add the windows. And I just made little squares. And you can do a whole building of windows if you like, but really for what we're doing, you just have to give an indication that there are windows on the building. So, you know, a few here and there, just kind of spread them out. You could also have fun with it and put maybe faces and different designs in there. Sometimes in cities, the people who own the buildings, they'll leave on certain windows to create a picture on the side of the building just by looking at the lights that are on at night. And you could research that on the internet and find that that's been done a lot of times, and you might get some ideas or inspiration from looking at some of those pictures. Now, when we get done today, when you get this all complete, hold on to this picture and keep it for next time, because I want to do one more thing. We're going to do another project with this finished paper next week. So this is our project for today, a collage of overlapping skyscrapers. If you like this project, leave a comment below. Thanks for coming to art class, and I'll see you next time.
See you later. Hi, bye.
Wow.